We begin with that 2022 budget. That 17.127 trillion naira budget of economic growth and sustainability for the year 2022 fiscal year has been formally signed into law. Also assented to is the 2021 finance bill, which is critical to the successful implementation of the budgetary provisions. President Muhammadu Buhari, who signed the documents, promised to improve the general well-being of Nigerians as well as implement measures to moderate the unintended negative effects of his administration's policies on them. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo reports.
Flanked by presiding officers of the National Assembly and some key members of the federal cabinet, President Muhammadu Buhari signs the 2022 budget of 17.127 trillion naira into law, describing it as crucial in his administration's efforts at completing and putting to use critical agenda projects as well as improving the living conditions of Nigerians.
We must continue to sustain this partnership in the interest of our people, in order to ensure the effective implementation of the budget and realization of its laudable objectives.
The budget has an increase of 735.85 billion naira over the initial executive proposal, although the president has admitted to have authorized 186.53 billion naira of the amount for additional critical expenditure. He, however, expressed reservations about many of the changes made in form of new insertions, outright removals, reductions or increase in the amounts allocated to projects.
Provisions made for as many as 10,733 projects were reduced, while 6,576 new projects were introduced into the budget by the National Assembly. The cuts in the provisions for several of these projects by the National Assembly may render the projects unimplementable or set back their completion.
President Buhari also expressed worry that 12.6 billion naira has been reduced in the budget for rail modernization projects, 25.8 billion naira from power sector reform program, and 14.5 billion naira from various agriculture projects.
I will revert to the National Assembly with a request for amendment and environment as soon as the Assembly resumes, to ensure that critical ongoing projects that are cardinal to this administration and those nearing completion do not suffer a setback due to reduced funding.
Being the last full-year budget to be implemented by the Buhari presidency, its effective execution is very critical to delivering the ongoing legacy projects, promoting social inclusion and strengthening the resilience of the economy. The President therefore directed the Ministry of Finance to implement all measures required to ensure timely and targeted release of capital votes, while MDAs are to, amongst others, ensure productive use of the funds provided for the realization of the objectives set for their sectors.
Revenue generation agencies, and indeed all MDAs, must ensure prompt and full remittance of collected revenues. All borrowings will be judiciously utilized and invested in our future growth and prosperity.
The driving force is cooperation, partnership, synergy, and that understanding and mutual respect. And of course, Nigeria is benefiting from that kind of relationship.
The Senate President also reacted to the reservations expressed by President Muhammadu Buhari over the changes made to the executive budget proposals.
Mr. President is happy with the majority of what the National Assembly has done, and that's the most critical thing that we need to focus on. As for the observations Mr. President has raised, I'm happy that the President signed the budget in the first place, and he said he's coming back to the National Assembly to seek for amendments or variants, and this is natural, logical legislative process.
So what next, sir, after the signing of this budget, sir?
Of this budget for the House of Reps? Oh, we're on vacation now. When we come back on the 18th, you'll know what's next.
This is the third consecutive year Nigeria's national budget will be implemented within the January to December cycle. From the State House, Adamu Sambo, NTA News.